After barely escaping Amen Thompson and the Houston Rockets in the NBA playoffs, Steph Curry was asked,
how much more respect does the camp coach have for his former camper in Amen Thompson?
Steph didn't hesitate.
He's a dog. He's going to be a problem for sure. You know, a freak athlete. He was tough, all serious.
And he's not the only one who feels this way.
They different. They ain't like the rest of us.
One of a kind, bro. His speed is just like unbelievable.
I do think he can be a superstar. Special talent.
Extremely high praise, but we have a problem. In year 2, Amen averaged just 14.1 points per game and shot under 30% from 3. We know in the modern NBA to succeed at the highest level, you need a jump shot or you'll reach a limit, especially if you're a guard. But in the case of Amen Thompson, we have never seen anything like this. In his first 2 seasons, Amen has not just shown us superstar potential, he's done even better. He's given us proof. The kind of proof we've seen from 3 separate NBA giants who went from young players with potential to MVPs of the league. Giannis, Steve Nash, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. All 3 of these household names took gigantic leaps at one point in their careers, but they also took very different routes to get there. So you might be wondering, how is it possible that Amen is walking on all 3 of these paths at the same time? Well, again, we have never seen a player like Amen Thompson before. In today's video, I am going to show you exactly why an MVP is coming in Amen's future, and also why he's already closer to stardom than anyone knows. We are going to break this video up into 3 segments, the 3 paths that Giannis, Steve Nash, and Shai all took to become MVP, and how Amen is following them. So let's start with the Giannis path, where immediately we find not only freakish athleticism, but also a competitiveness that sometimes can show itself as anger.
Numbers again, and Mike Dunleavy splash.
You knew it was coming.
And this was an intentional foul by Giannis.
Hero and Amen Thompson locking up. Oh my goodness.
Gets thrown to the floor. Here come both benches. And now frustration's boiling over.
While attacking people is probably not the best thing to do on a basketball court, this type of fire can fuel a player to greatness if it's used correctly. Neither Amen or Giannis is Isaiah Stewart. They're just 2 remarkably competitive players who will both do anything to win and do anything to improve. When Giannis was drafted into the NBA, he was labeled the Greek freak due to his supreme level of athleticism. Just like Amen, Giannis was seen as different. Only doubts swirled around Giannis, questioning if he would ever even be a useful basketball player. Not an MVP, just useful. Giannis fell to pick number 15, with Bleacher Report, who projected him as pick number 23, wildly saying, bold prediction alert, Giannis Antetokounmpo will never play an NBA game. They also said he's at least 3 years from being a bench contributor right now. To be fair, it did take Giannis 4 years to make second team All-NBA and 6 years to become the league's MVP. Oh wait, what am I saying? Bleacher Report could not have been more wrong. Amen is on a very similar path. Just like Giannis, Amen's athleticism at his position is otherworldly. But also just like Giannis, Amen has had to learn how to harness his athleticism correctly. We need to remember that Amen was drafted as a point guard. He played point guard his entire life, and as a point guard in the NBA, he will be a human cheat code. That will come once Amen is able to control himself in the half court a bit more. Looking at Giannis, he was able to defend at a high level before his offense came. The same can be said about Amen. We know Amen Thompson is one of the best defenders in the NBA already. According to Crafted NBA, Amen was already in the 97th percentile in defensive plus minus and in the 94th percentile in rim defense. And while both Amen and Giannis have been nightmares in transition due to their athleticism, in his first season, Giannis shot just 41.4% from the field, and he actually played 74% of his minutes at small forward. Once he bulked up and learned how to use his body, by year 6, his MVP season, Giannis played 73% of his minutes at power forward and the rest at center. That was Giannis's true position. That was where his full potential was finally unlocked. The same thing will happen to Amen, and we find that proof down the Steve Nash path. Steve Nash had one of the most unique careers in NBA history. He did not become an all-star until his 6th season at the age of 27, and then he went on to win back-to-back MVP MVPs at the ages of 30 and 31. Nash, like Giannis, was the 15th overall pick of his draft by the Phoenix Suns. And after 4 years at Santa Clara, you would think as a future MVP, he was ready to make an immediate impact. However, that was not the case. In his rookie season, Nash averaged just 3.3 points and 2.1 assists per game and played just 10.5 minutes a game, making us wonder what exactly happened here. Well, just like with Amen Thompson, Nash was stuck behind older point guards who were simply better than him at the time in Kevin Johnson, an all-star, and Jason Kidd, a future Hall of Famer. While Amen was able to find playing time on the Rockets due to his height of 6'7", his 40-inch plus vertical, his 7-foot wingspan, and basically everything you could want if you were making the prototype of the best point guard of all time, Steve Nash was not as athletically gifted. Amen is lucky to be playing for the Rockets. He's in a good organization, he has good veterans to learn from, he's in a winning culture, but because he was drafted to a roster that already, just like Steve Nash, had a former all-star in Fred VanVleet in front of him at the point guard spot, as well as a shooting guard who at the time was seen as a franchise piece in number 2 pick Jalen Green, the Rockets backcourt was and still is more than crowded. So Amen has not yet been given the chance to play the position he naturally wants to play, the position that gives him the highest chance of becoming an all-time great. If Amen was able to use all of his athletic gifts while leading a team at the point guard spot, we are going to essentially see the birth of an oversized Russell Westbrook / Derrick Rose. It took Steve Nash getting traded to finally become the starting point guard for the Mavericks, where he went on to become an all-star. Hopefully that is not the case for Amen, and his playmaking continues just to improve with the Rockets. He certainly is seen as an untouchable piece, and we have seen improvement in his playmaking on the stat sheet. Pre-All-Star break, Amen was given the ball less to make plays. He averaged just 3.4 assists per game. Post-All-Star break, with more opportunities, Amen's scoring improved, his efficiency improved, and his assists jumped up to 5.1 a game, showcasing that he was putting in the work. This type of improvement is extremely meaningful, and it also leads us to our final path, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander path. Shai is very similar to Amen and Giannis as well, in that after Shai was traded by the Clippers to the Thunder in a massive move for Paul George, Shai only logged 6% of his minutes at the point guard position in his second season, and then he played 7% of his minutes at point guard in year 3. But in his 2025 MVP year, Shai played 100% of his minutes at point guard. That was the spot that unlocked the MVP potential he had in him. Shai has also shown us that you can be a score-first guard who doesn't need to average close to 10 assists per game in order to win the MVP, and more importantly, in order to lead a championship roster. But what do Shai and Amen have even more in common here? As young players, it was identified that both Shai and Amen needed to improve their jumpers in order to be as successful as possible. Now, Shai definitely had a better jump shot than Amen did as a rookie. However, the two aren't as far off as you might think. As while Shai shot 42% from 3 in his third season, in year 4, he shot just 30% from 3, a massive drop-off. As for Amen, he has already shown tremendous improvement from the three-point line, going from shooting 13.8% from 3 as a rookie to 27.5% in year 2. We've heard that Amen has a relentless, tireless work ethic, but when you see the results on the actual stat sheet, that is when you know people aren't just yapping. But what's even more important for Amen beyond his three-point shot is to follow the blueprint, the path that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led to the MVP. That comes in the form of a mid-range jumper. A lot of people have hit Shai with the free throw merchant label. You can have your opinion on that. We're talking about Amen. But the reason Shai is able to draw those fouls is because from mid-range, he is absolutely knockdown. However, Shai was not always like this. In his third season, Shai shot just 38.2% from 10 to 16 feet, far from knockdown. In his MVP year, he just shot 53.4% from that same spot on far more attempts, proving that the mid-range game is not dead. And this is where Amen needs to improve. Adding a 3-ball will be incredible for his game, but a mid-range shot will be just as deadly. And again, we have great news. In his rookie season, Amen shot just 29.2% from from that 10 to 16 feet range. In year 2, that number leapt up to 48.8%. And Amen also finished an absurd 76.4% of his shots at the rim. In comparison, Nikola Jokic this season shot 73.5% at the rim. He's a center. Like I've been saying, we have never seen a player like Amen Thompson before. The raw talent is certainly there. Amen is going to be a special player in the NBA for a long time. The only question for me is, when will he take that leap to stardom? And there we have it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. That way you do not miss another upload. Only if you like the content though. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for supporting. You are awesome. We all know it. And as always, have an awesome day and cue that music.